Okay, let's dive into something, well, pretty complex today. The whole question around men and women and if they approach morality differently.
Hmm.
This deep dive, it's really grounded in work by Professor Hyoungbin Park. We're looking at his paper exploring what any potential differences might mean for moral education.
Right. So the goal is to unpack that. Look at the arguments, the science.
Exactly. See what the sources say about potential differences, the research behind it, and then crucially, what that could imply for, how we actually teach right and wrong.
And it's interesting because this isn't exactly a new conversation in psychology, is it?
Not at all. You've got that long-standing debate. Kohlberg, for instance, his focus on justice reasoning.
Hmm.
Sometimes women scored differently on those scales.
Which sparked a lot of discussion. And then Carol Gilligan came along.
Right. With her idea of a different voice, she highlighted that women often seem to lean towards an ethics based on care, relationships, the context of the situation.
Kind of contrasting with maybe a more abstract, justice-focused view.
Precisely. So the question became, is this difference fundamental? Or is it about maybe the tests themselves or societal expectations shaping things?
Yeah, the classic nature versus nurture sort of entry point.
And that's where things get even more interesting because the sources show neuroscience stepping into the ring more recently.
Offering findings about, say, brain organization, maybe chemical influences, even how brains light up differently during moral choices.
And they point to specifics, like oxytocin comes up, often called the bonding hormone, linked to trust, empathy.
And some research suggests it might play a more significant role, or perhaps a different role, in women, which kind of echoes that care perspective, potentially.
Potentially, yeah. And then there's the other side, discussion around the MAOA gene.
Ah, yes, the so-called warrior gene, or sometimes, more controversially, violence gene. Specifically, the low-activity version, MAOAL.
Right, MAOAL. It's been linked in some studies to aggression, and the paper notes this link seems more pronounced in research involving men.
But, and this is a huge but in the research.
It really is. The paper hammers this home. Biology isn't destiny here. The environment plays a massive role.
Absolutely. That link between MAOA, and, say, aggression, it seems really dependent on negative environmental factors.
Like childhood abuse, trauma, things like that.
Exactly. The source is stress. It's often the interaction. You have a potential genetic predisposition plus a damaging environment.
Yeah.
That seems